Well, Trump does it again. He does the unthinkable and selects someone to be a leader of the FBI. Kash Patel, a phenomenal choice, someone that we've been pushing for because he's brilliant, he's been around it, and he's also made some huge remarks when it comes to if he was leading the FBI. We're going to talk about some of that, how not only the bureaucracy is up in arms, the Democrats are up in arms, and a lot of Republicans. Why are people so scared of the truth and being honest and wanting better from their leadership? It just blows my mind. We'll talk about that. It's baffling. Then we're going to talk about what Trump just said about BRICS, how Trump is fighting for the dollar. That is huge because for people like me who want a society that is parallel, that's not really always known, I love cash. I think cash is a good thing. It helps us stay to where the buyer and seller is the buyer and seller, that everyone doesn't know our business. Cash is king. Trump is fighting for the dollar to keep on making it. We're going to talk about what he just did and what he said to BRICS. Is it a threat? I think it actually can work, just like it did with Canada and Mexico. And remember, he's doing all this stuff and he's making all these policies before he's even in office, just like he promised. Then we're going to discuss Kamala. Now, where is Kamala? No one's seen Kamala. I mean, have we even seen Biden? Do we even know who's running America? Well, there's a Democratic strategist that just said, I want to audit Kamala's campaign. There was way too much money spent in just a short amount of time, record amount of money, in a record time for her to spend, to lose as bad as she did, and also to be in debt now that she's asking for people to please pay her debts. This is a big story. Now, it's funny because even Democrats are doubling down saying that she should be the one running for 2028. I think that's absolutely great. I would love to see that. However, I think, of course, times will change. There's a lot of water under the bridge that's going to happen before 2028. But they have put out a front runner that will have some weight behind her. Now, let's see what happens. And what do you think? Are you worried about her? I don't think that she's much of anything, especially now that legacy media has kind of lost its luster. I don't know if they're going to be strong enough to push her. We'll talk about who they want as the potential candidate. And then remember, we're going to be doing our giveaway. 2 giveaways at the end of this video, so stay tuned to that for the month of November. Let's dive into these stories and a few more. This video starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to The Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, go down here. Please consider subscribing. We need your help and support as we have been pretty held down lately and ghosted and suppressed. So we need your support by giving us a thumbs up, commenting, and that helps you, of course, get into the giveaways each and every month. But it means the world to us, and we humbly ask that you, if you like the content, of course, subscribe. Now, if you see we're in the pantry, this is just part of our pantry. We are a sustainable farm. Our goal is to always raise our own food. That way we're not dependent on someone else. To be honest with you, I was just freezing cold this morning. After I did my milking chores and feeding chores, frost was on the ground. It's like 20 outside, and I don't want to be standing out in it. I love winter, but not just to hang out in it. So you're in the pantry today. Now we're going to be doing the giveaway at the end of this video. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's jump into these stories. First and foremost, the one that's kind of on everybody's mind, Kash Patel. Kash Patel has said a few things if he became acting FBI director, and this was over the last few years. He said he would release the client list from Epstein. He would also close down the Hoover building and decentralize the FBI, meaning getting it away from the bureaucratic way that it's been involved in D.C. He's saying, I would just make it a museum. Now, was he speaking hypothetical? Was he speaking in hyperbole? Probably so, but what he's trying to say is, I want to dismantle it that much. Now, other things he said, he's going to get rid of a lot of the people that in power that are not doing the job. You know, think about FBI. The rank and file members are probably pretty good guys, but the top heads, it's all about what the Washington wants from them. It's a bureaucratic way. It's just like all these lobbyists. It's just like all these people that's been in Washington way too long. They're part of the swamp. Even Christopher Wray and all the, Mueller, think about them. All these ones that were the FBI directors over the last 10 years, they've all been a part of the establishment. Well, now Trump is saying, I'm going to bring in someone who knows the system, who was a public defender, who was a lawyer, who was a litigator, who also served in my intelligence, who also served in my campaign, who also has been near and dear to me. He served in the AG's office. He has been around, but at the same time, he's always been from the outside in. He's never been a part of the system. So people are actually scared. Some of the people part of the FBI, some of the former FBI higher-ups like McCabe, and some of them are like, no, this guy's the wrong choice. Why is he the wrong choice? Why do people say that? Why are all these people against some of these choices for Trump's campaign? The sad thing is, a lot of these people are just wanting honesty and wanting a decentralized way of how we were set up in America. When you see the bureaucracy, all these former heads, all these talking heads like John Bolton and Karl Rove and all these people like that, and then you hear it like senators, Democratic congressmen, and then you hear Republicans like Murkowski and Collins, who I don't want to call them Republicans, they're a joke, or even Romney or Cheney. When they're starting to push against some of these people, that actually makes me like them more, because you're saying all these people who's been part of the system that's been such a problem is the ones that are complaining of Kash Patel, of people like Pete Hegseth, of people like Tulsi Gabbard. We want people to be uncomfortable. Anyone who's willing to release, JFK stuff, Epstein stuff, who's willing to decentralize and take the establishment and break it is a good thing. We need that. And I think Trump is actually starting that push. Now, yes, he has picked a few people that's been part of the establishment to, I think, suffice to hopefully say, okay, I'm letting you have these people, but you put my people through. I think Trump is playing 4D chess. He's putting the Rubios, the Stefanic's, and all them. And yes, they're faithful to Trump. I mean, they're going to serve at his behest. But to be honest with you, I think he's like, okay, if we put Rubio in, if we put Stefanik in, if we put Pam Bondi in, I want to make sure you put Pete Hegseth in. I want to make sure you put Tulsi, RFK, and of course Kash Patel in. I think he's playing a game to say, okay, look, I'm giving you some picks, but you better make sure my picks get in, because these are the people that's going to change the narrative and do good things. Now remember, if they do not confirm FBI Director Patel, which I think they should, but if you have the Republicans try to stand against him, Trump could actually fire Ray, which Ray said he's already leaving, and he can appoint. And for an appointment, he can appoint Patel to get in there for 200 or 300 days without having the Senate approve it. There's some loopholes there. So Trump could actually get Patel in no matter what. This is huge because of some of the things that Patel has done and said. Not only that, he's talked about how J6 was a joke. He's talked about how he wants to make sure that we open our eyes to see what the bureaucracy is doing to these people. He's also been persecuted against for no reasons. So when you hear people like this that's going to have power, and not only that, he's brilliant. He knows intelligence. He's a litigator. He's a lawyer. But he's been around Trump and knows Trump. He's not some guy who just sold out to Trump. This guy has been with Trump for a long time. I think you're going to see some great things from Kash Patel. I'm excited about this one. Now, let's go into something else Trump just did, because I think it's the most important thing. Trump just came out with a report saying that he is going to put a 100% tariff on any country, including BRICS, countries that are trying to battle the dollar, or anyone who's trying to use a different currency. He's going to put 100% tariffs on all their goods coming over here if they choose not to use the dollar. Now, what this does, and do not say, well, this is going to cost the consumers more. No, what this is again, a negotiation. It's just like when we first set up the dollar as the world currency, it took Saudi Arabia making people buy fuel with the dollar, the petrodollar. So there's been a lot of weakness lately because we've had bad leadership in Washington. And we still have bad leadership in Washington when it comes to the bureaucratic class. But what Trump is trying to do, again, with these picks, but also with the fact of making these tariff threats, is saying, look, if you choose to do business with United States. Remember, United States is the biggest business and biggest country in the world. You either play the game or you don't. This is the kind of game of bully tactics that I actually like. Show your strength when it comes to your economy and your dollar. That way it helps American people thrive. The difference here is this. What we've had the bully tactics of the establishment and the Democrats and even the Republicans, such as the Bush-Cheney time, is they want to show dominance and bully tactics with war and with our people getting hurt and with military. Let's change that around. And what Trump is saying, look, we're going to have that same strength, but we're not going to have to do anything. We're not going to have to send our troops on somewhere else's soil. We're going to be able to do it from right here because that's how strong we are. If you want to do business with us, either it's going to cost you double what you thought it was going to cost you, or you're going to play by the game and actually use the dollar bills. So it's actually going to benefit in two ways. Either their goods coming in is going to be higher priced to where then America can compete with other countries that are sending cheap goods over here, or you're going to see people say, you know what, I don't need to fight with Trump and USA because I need their business. So therefore, we may need to do it in dollars, which will ultimately help our economy in the world do better. Remember, the dollar is the world's currency right now. And if we can base that, for instance, what Trump's confidant and advisor has said, that we need to go back to a gold-backed standard, now you're not only building a strong dollar, you may be basing it on a currency that everyone knows it's worth its weight in gold. Remember, that's the whole saying. The fact that this currency has been around forever, gold. And if we can turn around and back our money with that, you have now made a currency that can last a lifetime. You know, the American empire, the American way, doesn't necessarily have to end right now. And I know that we've looked weak for so long. But what Trump is, I think, trying to do with some of these picks like Patel and Hedgeseth, he's trying to break the narrative that we don't have to be who we've been. We've been very unsuccessful and actually has not done really anything other than cause problems for American people for the last 20, 30, 40 years. It's time to change. And so I love these picks that he's making, and I love the fact that he is threatening BRICS. He's threatening these countries in an economic way to say you better do business with our dollars. That benefits America, people. That is actually what's benefiting America versus us saying we're going to send warships to China like we did yesterday, like I said yesterday in that video. Go back and watch that if you didn't watch that video. So Trump is making gains, and again, he's doing this all before he gets elected because he wants to show, look, I want to do business, and I want everybody in the world to do business. I want their economies to thrive, but we will do it this way. That is strong leadership. And again, here's another thing. You don't think it would work? It's already worked. Look at what Canada and Mexico has done. They said, well, we're not going to pay those tariffs, and they're going to complain and blah, 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 and they run their mouth, and guess what? They both negotiated and say now they're willing to work with Trump. That is true leadership. And Trump didn't even have to leave the country. He didn't even have to leave his home to make those decisions. That is awesome. Now, he's going to have a hard road. And his appointments are going to have a hard road because they're going to have to say, okay, we're willing to take the heat. Because you know there's going to be crazy stories come out on Patel like it was on every other appointment that Trump has done. I hope these guys are willing to stand the heat and trial by fire. Because when you're fighting the establishment, it may get tough. So I'm hoping to see Trump stand firm, and I'm hoping to see his appointments stand firm. And honestly, like I said, I've said this for the last few days, I love that Trump is doing business in Florida, not in Washington, D.C. I hope he keeps this policy going, that he spends more time in Florida than he does in D.C. I think this could actually benefit us because it gets the swampy trash and decentralizes not only some of the administration, but the President of the United States says, I don't even need to be in D.C. That's huge. Now let's talk about Kamala. Kamala. So the Dems are in panic. What are they doing? Well, they just fired 2/3 of the people that worked on the Kamala campaign. Isn't it funny how they're for the people and want to make sure that they're getting living wages and working hard, make sure they're taking care of them, and then fire 2/3 of them? Isn't that funny? Now, James Carville just came out and said, I want an audit of Kamala Harris and her campaign. Now, James Carville's been around forever. He's been a Democratic strategist and pollster for a long time. Someone I personally don't like. He's from New Orleans, has that Cajun accent. I actually like hearing him speak because it just reminds me of how close we are to Louisiana. But the thing is, he's saying, look, this candidate got put in, did not get voted in. Not only did she do that, she fundraised and made more money than any other candidate ever. And not only that, it was only in like 100 days. It didn't take 2 years. So that's a little shady in itself. But James Carville, as a Democrat, is saying, look, we need to audit how she spent our money. Because not only were we not successful, we got slammed. And not only that, she walks out away from spending $1.5 billion to be $20 million in debt. Trump had $400 million over the last, 2 or 3 years and spent about $340. He come away with a surplus. So you tell me how someone in 100 days spends $1.5 billion and then comes away with $20 million in debt and loses in a landslide. So James Carville's calling him out. I want to know what's happening with the Democratic Party. So I love the fact that they're almost infighting a little bit. I love the fact that actually doubling down on Kamala, saying, "Oh, she's going to be the 28th nominee." That's so funny. She's not going to win one state, and y'all know that good as I do. But you know who they are pushing? AOC. AOC will be of age, and she will be the one that they're going to utilize. So you're going to see her a lot more in the next few years. Now, here's the funny thing. If you thought Kamala was unprepared and unfit, AOC is even worse. Now, she is more likable. She has a better presence and a better oration, almost like Obama versus Kamala, no doubt. But she's incompetent. I mean, look at what she stood on. Look at her policies. It's unbelievable. So if the Democrats double down and go more leftist or more liberal in wokeness and pushing these kind of people to lead their party, it's only going to make it for the Republicans to even look stronger over the next 4 years. Now, here's my challenge to you. Get the people out of Washington that shouldn't be there. The Susan Collins, the Murkowskis, the Romneys, all those kind of people, the Cornyn's. I love the fact that they're starting to push Ken Paxton and someone to primary Cornyn in Texas. That should already happen. McConnell in Kentucky should already happen. We need better conservative leaders in Washington. But then I say let's put the senators and congressmen, demand them back at home so they can start listening to their people who they're supposedly representing. Well, overwhelmingly, we selected Trump. So Trump's cabinet picks should easily, overwhelmingly get into their appointments. If they do not, whoever votes against them needs to be primaried. Susan Collins and Murkowski just put a liberal judge, an approved liberal judge, during a lame duck session when the party of the Republicans have won and they're going into office. They just passed one of Biden's most liberal lifetime appointments. They let it happen. So why are you not primarying them, Maine and Alaska? Why are you not putting better people in representation of you? All they're doing is destroying all the things that we're trying to fight against. That's why, like Patel, why do they want him so bad not to be the leader of the FBI? Someone who wants transparency, someone who wants honesty, someone who wants to open some of the things that's been hidden from Americans. Why do they want to hide that so much? When you bring something to light, you see the evils. And I think no matter what you think of Trump, he's bringing a lot to light. And you may not like it, but we need to see this and have conviction there to show it's time to change and it's time to be better. I think these are great things happening. And again, I think a lot of times we don't think, openness in media, in X, and finding more ways to spread this truth. I love the fact that Trump is going out and speaking personally to people. That's a good thing. I want to see more of that. And when he makes these little 2 and 3 minute snippets and he shares it online, he's talking directly to you. He's not using spokesman. He's not using legacy media. He's not going in front of everybody at a press secretary pool. He is literally speaking to the Americans. And I think that is a good way forward, especially from Florida. Now let's jump into the winners of the prizes this month. Now we are giving away not only soap, we're giving away shirts that say Awaken Not Woke. And not only that, we're also giving some things that are away from the brands that sponsor us. Mudwater has got some things going to our 2 winners. So we're going to send some things out for Mudwater. We're also going to send out more survival gear. Your package will be around $400 to $500 worth of stuff that you're going to get, not only from us, but from some of our sponsors. And I can't wait to share these things with you. Talk about survival and prepping, and also making sure that you represent what you believe. There's nothing better than some of the things that I'm going to be giving you. So we're going to send that out. You'll see those. We'll show you some of those in pictures over the next coming days of what we're sending out. But the 2 winners of the prizes, again, these people, remember, did not have to buy anything. They didn't have to do anything special. All they had to do, and all you have to do, is be subscribed, comment on our videos, and then give us a thumbs up, and you're automatically entered into the giveaway. So the random giveaways, let's go through. The first winner of this prize gift that's worth about $450 is going to be Donna Roberts 34. Donna Roberts 34 is our first winner. Please email us, reach out to us, so that way we can get this prize packet to you. We'll send it straight to you via mail, so we'll need your address and information. Remember, don't do that on YouTube. Don't do it on any other site. Just talk to us personally through email, and we will get that information from you. Now the second winner of the prizes for the month of November is Walt Harding. Walt Harding. Again, thank you so much for watching, commenting on the videos. Mr. Walt, if you will reach out to us as well so we can get your information and get this prize packet to you. And to the 2 winners, congratulations. Again, we thank you all so very much for watching. Our goal is to make sure you're getting good information to help you figure out, okay, what's my next step forward? The point of what we share is not to make you scarce, not to make you fear. It's to make you think and say, you know what? That is a good pick. Why is everybody pushing against Kash Patel? This makes me say, okay, if all these people are pushing against him and he's just wanting transparency, what we're seeing is a broken system, and that's what we want to fix. When we hear about the fact of the dollar, how important it is to keep cash and to prep and to do the things that we do, well, we have someone now who's fighting against BRICS. What's the point of the tariffs? It's negotiation. Don't let the news media scare you into saying it's going to make you have way more money spent at the grocery store or at the shopping mall. Trump is actually negotiating with this, and we've already seen it be very successful. Guys, thank you so very much for watching, and we appreciate you. Today is Sunday. I hope you took your family to church. And remember, we're getting into the Christmas season. Now, we should be thankful all year round, not just at Thanksgiving and Christmas. More than any time in the year, we should be thankful of Jesus and what he's done for us when it comes to the Christmas season. Enjoy your family. Spend time with them. God bless.
Be free, be free.